Yes, sir.
Okay. In the screen, first of all, what is mentioned over here? IELTS. What is IELTS? IELTS is the abbreviation of International English Language Testing System, right? And this is a test. It is acceptable across the world. It is acceptable in all the English countries, European countries. And why there is a need to do IELTS? There are three basic reasons for higher studies. If you want to go abroad and you want to study, as you already know about your requirements, and mostly when we apply for a student visa for the studies in the foreign countries, the universities in the foreign countries and the embassies in the foreign countries, they require IELTS. But other purposes of IELTS are there when you apply for immigration, or you want to go abroad for visit, or you want to do some professional jobs, just like doctors when they want to do some professional courses, they also require IELTS. But for you, I hope you require IELTS for study purposes, isn't it? Okay. Now, who can take IELTS? There is the minimum age requirement, that is 16, and what you require in documentation, you require your ID card. And you know, in Pakistan, ID card is issued after 18. So up till that, you can show your passport, because passport can be taken from for the kids as well, for everybody. So if you have ID card, that's well and good, but if you don't have ID card, then passport is compulsory. One of them is compulsory, whatever the age is there. Right, now we know that in the countries where IELTS is required, that they are mentioned: Australia, New Zealand, United Kingdom, Canada, and various Commonwealth countries, and US, and European countries too. I don't know in which countries do you want to go. May you have maybe one option or two or three options, but I hope that wherever you want to go, IELTS will be applicable. So just for the sake of my information, have you decided to go to a certain country, Mr. Mudassir?
Yes, sir. First option, Australia.
It means your option, first option is Australia over here, that where you want to go. And do you have any relative over there or friend?
No, sir. Friend.
Your friend is okay. Fine, and therefore you have decided to go for Australia. And your
Yes, sir.
plan is to go to Australia for study or somewhere else?
Study.
Study.
Study for a study.
Okay, for higher studies. And what is qualification up till now? It's graduation or master?
Yes, graduation.
It is
Graduation.
graduation. You did BSc, I hope.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. And what about Aisha? Which country do you want to go to? Yes, Aisha, can you hear me? In which country do you want to go? You are just supposed to turn on your mic and you can speak. Well, students, it will be interactive session, right? It will not be a kind of just a lecture from the teacher. You are listening and listening. You also have to participate, because times and again I will also ask you certain questions, and one purpose is to make you confident, independent, and also to take your opinion. And IELTS is basically performance, and when you are motivated, you are encouraged, you speak up, you participate in talk, and you feel easier to talk, so it means you can perform very well in IELTS. So the sessions will be, of course, interactive. So Miss Aisha, I would like to ask you, in which country do you want to go? What is your preference?
I want to go to Canada.
You want to go to Canada, okay. And what about the acquaintance? Do you have any relatives over there or some known people? Why have you decided to go to Canada?
Yeah, I have relatives.
You have relatives, okay. So
yeah.
Do you think they are going to support you over there when you go to Canada?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. And you want to go abroad after completion of your graduation, or you want to just leave it and you will go right away?
No, after completing my BS.
Okay, after completion of your BS. Then
Yeah.
it's okay. When you appear for IELTS exams, first of all, you require good preparation. And after the preparation, maybe it takes you 40 days, 50 days, or maybe a bit more, maybe 2 months. Then you apply for its final test in British Council and or Australian Education Office. That's your own choice whether you want to appear in Australian Education Office or British Council. You have to wait for 14 days for the result. Means when you appear for the test, for example, if today is the test day, it's 7th day, after 14 days, like on 21st May, results will be announced. And this certificate will be valid for 2 years. This certificate will be valid for 2 years. Means for within 2 years you can apply anywhere. So you must know about the things necessary regarding IELTS and its application and its limitations as well. Okay, now moving ahead, who administers IELTS? Means across the world, IELTS, as I have told you, it is international English language testing system. When we say system, system means organization. IELTS is not just the name of a test, rather it is the name of an institution. IELTS by itself is an organization, it is the name of an institution, and the purpose of this institution is to conduct the tests of English of people across the world, right? And this institution is jointly owned, by these three can say further organizations are there. Like IELTS is the property of University of Cambridge Local Examination Syndicate. It is the property of British Council UK and IDP Australia. Fine. So IELTS is run. It is not just under the category of British Council, Australia and Cambridge University. So in Cambridge University there is ESOL examination system which conducts the IELTS. In Pakistan, British Council and Australian Education Office, both of them are working, and they have their centers in Sialkot too. You can appear for British Council's test in Sialkot. You can appear for Australian education tests in Sialkot. Both of the organizations are conducting IELTS in Sialkot. So you need not to go to any other city in Islamabad or Lahore. In Sialkot, you can appear in the test. And whether you apply from Australian Education Office or British Council, it doesn't matter because the syllabus is same, test pattern is same, even the examiners and the invigilators are the same. They shuffle in these institutions, and the facilities which are provided by them, just like they provide the headphones, they provide you the stuff over there, that would also be the same. And even the test will be the same. For example, if the test is conducted on 10th of May in British Council, the same content of the test will appear in Australian Education Office on the same day, right? It is just like you are the student of Islamia College or Murray College or Allama Iqbal College. When final exams of boards are conducted, they are the same for every student. So it's your own choice whether you appear from British Council or Australian Education Office, right? I think this is also clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, test types. Let's see what are the test types. There are basically two types of IELTS. One is GNT training, and that is used for immigration purpose. And second is academic IELTS, which is for higher studies and for professional work visas. Now, General training IELTS is different from academic in the content. Their pattern a bit different. Their conduction of exam is also a bit different. And the level of the test is also different. Both of you are going for study purposes, and mostly people go for study purpose. Very rare people go abroad for immigration or other purposes. So you have to appear in academic IELTS. Is that clear? You have to appear in academic IELTS.
Yes.
As far as listening portion and speaking portions are concerned, they are same in both general training and academic IELTS. There is no difference. But writing and reading portions, there is a difference in both types. But we are not concerned what difference is there. We have to just prepare completely about the academic IELTS. Fine? So what will be the difference? I will also tell you with the passage of time, and we will talk about our own concerns that how to improve more and more regarding academic IELTS. Okay. Now, what about structure? IELTS test is the test of performance. There will not be the direct questions about. There will not be direct questions of grammar. There will not be direct questions of vocabulary. Rather, this is the test which is based on skills. It is not based on knowledge. There is a great difference between knowledge and skill. Knowledge means when we know something, that is knowledge. And skill means when we are able to perform something. For example, if you read a book about swimming, swimming is an activity, but if you read a book about swimming in which different guidelines will be provided to you, different tips and techniques will be mentioned, that if you swim in this way, you can swim better. If you swim in this way, you will be less tired and you can go long distances, and different other things will be mentioned in that book. But after reading that book, are you able to swim? No. So when you read the book, you just get the knowledge, but you don't get the skills. When you get the skills, you get the skills when you start performing it. For reaching the skills, you need practice. Okay? And when you have done practice extensively, that it becomes a part of your life. Similarly, we talk about driving or cooking. In the beginning days when we are learning driving or cooking, we are a bit confused as well. We are just starting how to perform better. But when we are maturer, we perform well, and we can say we have the skill of driving. Similarly, IELTS is not the test of particular vocabulary items. IELTS is not the test of particular grammatical rules. IELTS is not the test of knowing which sound is to be pronounced in what way. Rather, it is the test of performance. For example, they will provide you listening portion, reading portion, writing portion, and speaking portion. In these portions, they will involve you to perform. Because if listening is there, they will play certain listening transcripts, and you have to listen. And while listening, you have to give the answers of certain questions. स्टूडेंट वेटिंग रूम में आया है, मुझे चेक करने दे वो कौन है। कौन है? Let me check. जी हमजा बेटा।
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
वालेकुम सलाम। शम्स क्या हाल है? ठीक है।
जी सर ठीक ठाक। ये छोटे भाई की पिक लगी हुई है, आप सुनाए सर ठीक है?
हाँ जी, अल्लाह का शुक्र है, ठीक है। ओके, क्लास इज गोइंग ऑन, ठीक है बेटा?
ठीक है सर।
ओके, फाइन। इन IELTS tests we have four skills. We have to appear in listening, we have to appear in reading, writing and speaking. These are the four skills in which the IELTS test is conducted. Okay. Uh, Now we'll talk about introductory aspects of IELTS listening. How many portions are there? What about the timing? IELTS listening test will be conducted for 30 minutes, right? It will be conducted for 30 minutes. It means you have to listen for 30 minutes and there will be variety of स्क्रिप्ट। अच्छा बेटा, आप जो सब स्टूडेंट्स अपने माइक म्यूट कर लें। अगर आपको कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना होगा तो फिर खुद सिर्फ माइक ऑन करके क्वेश्चन पूछें, अदरवाइज माइक म्यूट कर लें क्योंकि साउंड डिस्टर्ब करती है। ठीक है बेटा? ओके, हमसे बेटा आप भी जो है ना वो माइक जो है ना वो कर लें ऑफ। क्वेश्चन होगा तो फिर आप Now we are talking about the structure of IELTS listening. First of all, how much time is there? 30 minutes. 30 minutes you will listen different types of recordings. Actually, there are four types of recordings we will talk about. As in structure you can see. ये है structure वाला portion. Structure वाले portion में आप देखें there are four sections. उनको अभी हम देख लेते हैं. So these four sections will appear for listening to you. IELTS listening actually is based on reading and writing too. क्योंकि जब आप सुन रहे होते हैं साथ ही आपको क्वेश्चन रीड भी कुछ करने होते हैं, उसके लिए भी आपको टाइम मिलता है. एंड while reading the questions and while listening the question you also have to respond then and there. It is not a memory test. कि ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको 4-5 मिनट की लिसनिंग सुनवाई जाएगी और आप उसको ज़हन में बैठा लें और फिर उसके बाद क्वेश्चन अपीयर होंगे, ऐसा नहीं है. क्वेश्चन भी आपके सामने है, along with the questions listening is played. ये 30 मिनट्स की लिसनिंग होगी. there will be 4 sections जो ये स्ट्रक्चर में आगे ये नीचे 4 sections हैं. ठीक है, तो आफ्टर 30 मिनट्स क्या होगा, आपको एक शीट दी जाएगी. ये सारे क्वेश्चंस जो हैं, all these questions will be objective types. Sometimes you have to give fill in the blanks, fill in the pro forma. Sometimes you have to give the answer of short question answers. Sometimes we have to give the answers of matching of lists or filling of a diagram as well, or giving the answers just in short words, 2 words, 3 words. When along with the questions answers are filled up, they are taken and they are written in another sheet. एक आपको शीट मिलेगी, वो जो बुकलेट होगी जिसपे आपको क्वेश्चंस सुनते हुए टाइप करने या लिखने हैं. तो 10 मिनट्स में वहां से ही आपने वही क्वेश्चन नंबर वाइज पकड़ने और उस लिस्ट में शिफ्ट कर देने. वो आपको लिस्ट भी मैं दिखा दूंगा इंशाल्लाह विद द बेस्ट ऑफ टाइम. अभी हम इसको जनरली डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. प्रोसीजर क्या होगा? फर्स्ट मॉड्यूल ऑफ द टेस्ट. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू शुड कीप इन माइंड व्हेन द IELTS टेस्ट विल बी conducted. जब आप ब्रिटिश काउंसिल जाते हैं तो आपका IELTS टेस्ट शुरू हो जाएगा. सो द वेरी फर्स्ट skill to be tested upon that would be listening. इसलिए ये लिखा हुआ है कि first module of the test, टेस्ट का जो पहला मॉड्यूल लिसनिंग का होता है. After listening, the second module will be reading. जब लिसनिंग का ये टाइम खत्म हो गया, 30 मिनट्स गुजर गए, फिर उसके बाद 10 मिनट भी ट्रांसफर करने के लिए आपके आंसर्स को भी गुजर गए. फिर टाइम होगा आपके पास किसका? रीडिंग का. और रीडिंग 1 आवर की होती है. और उस रीडिंग के बाद फिर राइटिंग का टेस्ट होगा. राइटिंग भी 1 आवर की होगी, 60 मिनट्स की. ठीक है, और स्पीकिंग का टेस्ट बाद में कंडक्ट किया जाएगा. तो ये जो लिखा हुआ है कि फर्स्ट मॉड्यूल ऑफ द टेस्ट, इसका मतलब है कि लिसनिंग हमारा हमेशा IELTS के ऑर्डर में पहली स्किल होती है जिसको टेस्ट किया जाता है. कैसेट इज प्लेड, एज आई टोल्ड यू दैट देयर विल बी साउंड and the cassette is played. So cassette is played, इसका मतलब है टेप इज प्लेड. जरूरी नहीं कि वो कैसेट ही हो, मतलब वो टेप है या वो सिर्फ सॉफ्ट वेयर से डेटा प्ले कर दें, वट एवर द केस, वो बार आपको साउंड सुनाई देगी. Individual headphones are provided. That is also a facility. आपको पता है कि ओपन स्पीकर हो, बड़े स्पीकर हो, तो उसकी आवाज जो है बाहर गूंजती है. हो सकता है आपको उतना concentration से सुन ना सकें. But when the headphones are provided, your concentration is more, and this is a facility which is available in both British Council and Australian Education Office. Even के listening test start होने से पहले वो जो उनके इन्विजिलेटर्स हैं जो टेस्ट कंडक्ट करवा रहे हैं, वो आपको टेस्टिंग करवाते हैं कि साउंड्स ठीक है, सबका हेडफोन सही तरह चल रहा है, आवाज कम या ज्यादा तो नहीं है, बहुत ज्यादा हो गया आवाज फटे या बहुत कम हो के आवाज सुने. तो पहले हर एक स्टूडेंट से वो हेडफोन को चेक करवाते हैं. जब चेक कर लेते हैं, आफ्टरवर्ड्स द टेस्ट इज प्लेड. ठीक है. Yes, you are supposed to attempt questions from the booklet. जैसे मैंने आपसे पहले कहा कि बुकलेट होती है जिसमें आपको शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन आंसर देने हैं. क्वेश्चंस भी उधर लिखे हुए हैं, परफॉर्मा कोई बना हुआ है उसको फिलअप करना है, कुछ समरी है उसको फिलअप करना है. 2 लिस्ट दी हुई हैं, तो लिस्टिंग से अंदाजा लगा के उन लिस्ट के ऑप्शंस को मैच करना होता है, या आपको जो है वो जो पर्सनल डेटा है उसके हवाले से परफॉर्मा हो सकते हैं, या एजुकेशनल डेटा के हवाले से परफॉर्मा हो सकता है, उसको फिलअप करना है. सो मींस अ बुकलेट विल बी प्रोवाइडेड टू यू. बुकलेट जो वो तकरीबन 4 से 5 पेजेस पे मुश्तमिल होगी और एक पेज पे यही 10 के करीब क्वेश्चंस होंगे. ठीक है. और ज्यादा भी हो सकते हैं, कम भी हो सकते हैं, ये तो जैसा भी वो बुकलेट है, 5 पेजेस भी हो सकते हैं, 6 भी हो सकते हैं, लेकिन ओवरऑल 40 क्वेश्चन सारे होंगे उस बुकलेट पे. तो जब आप वो बुकलेट पे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर चुके होंगे, तो देन व्हाट इज देयर, ट्रांसफरिंग आंसर्स यूजिंग पेंसिल ओनली, लेड पेंसिल जिसे हम कहते हैं. क्योंकि बॉल पॉइंट को भी पेन बोला जाता है, उसे पेंसिल नहीं कहते इंग्लिश में. आमतौर पे हम अपनी लोकल लैंग्वेज में तो उसे भी पेंसिल कहते हैं जो बॉल पॉइंट होता है, बट इन इंग्लिश पेंसिल मीन्स ओनली द लेड पेंसिल. ठीक है. तो आप सिर्फ लेड पेंसिल से आप अपनी आंसर शीट पे आंसर कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं और उस बुकलेट पे भी आंसर लिखेंगे. इट मीन्स for listening only lead pencil is required. अगर आप बॉल पॉइंट से लिख देते हैं तो वो आंसर एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं होगा क्रॉस में. राइट. सो लेड पेंसिल इज कंपल्सरी. तो ये तो प्रोसीजर है. along with the listening you have to give the answer then and there. तो बाज़ ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स ये समझते हैं कि शायद listening is just pure listening, but I always suggest the student that IELTS listening is not only listening, it is based on reading, listening and writing. क्योंकि आपको पहले क्वेश्चन पढ़ना होता है. जो स्टूडेंट्स अच्छे रीडर हैं वो क्वेश्चन को अच्छा समझते हैं, क्वेश्चन के कीवर्ड्स को हाईलाइट कर लेते हैं और साथ वो सुन रहे होते हैं. तो इसका मतलब है कि जब क्वेश्चन के कीवर्ड से रिलेटेड वो कोई बात करेगा डायलॉग में, कन्वर्सेशन में, तो वहां से वो डेटा पिक करेंगे और जैसे पिक करेंगे तो फिर उन्हें आंसर लिखना है. बाज़ अच्छे रिसेप्टिव स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं, वो रिसीव कर सकते हैं अच्छी तरह रीडिंग का क्या की रिक्वायरमेंट है, रीडिंग करते हुए क्वेश्चन की क्या रिक्वायरमेंट है, और लिसनिंग जब करनी है तो अच्छी तरह वो उससे भी पिक कर लेते हैं क्योंकि वो अच्छे रिसीवर हैं. लेकिन मैंने देखा है कि बाज़ दफ़ा अच्छे रिसीवर होने के बावजूद दे आर नॉट गुड प्रोडक्टिव. प्रोडक्टिव किसे कहते हैं? प्रोडक्टिव स्किल्स में राइटिंग आती है कि जैसे उन्होंने लिसनिंग की है किसी भी क्वेश्चन की, लेकिन वो बस जहन में क्वेश्चन को डेवलप करते हुए, उसे प्रोड्यूस करते हुए, क्वेश्चन जो रीडिंग में लिखा हुआ था बुकलेट पे और लिसनिंग के डेटा को आपस में मुताबिकत पैदा करते हुए इन ऑर्डर टू डिराइव द रिजल्ट, वो थोड़ा टाइम ले लेते हैं और उस टाइम में थोड़े लेजी होकर लिखते हैं, एक्टिव रिस्पॉन्स नहीं देते. तो लिसनिंग अगर आपकी अच्छी करनी है तो आपको एट टाइम 3 स्किल्स के ऊपर कमांड होगा, तो फिर आप कर सकते हो. आप बहुत अच्छे लिसनर हो लेकिन अच्छी तरह आपका पेन ही नहीं चलता, या आप लिखने से पहले थोड़ा माइंड मेकिंग करते हैं. आपने देखा होगा कि कुछ ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं, आपकी जो फॉर्मल क्लासेस हैं, क्लासरूम में जब आप बैठे हुए होते हैं, एक बेंच पे 2, 3, 4 स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं, तो आप देखते हो कि जब टीचर एक लेक्चर ले रहा होता है, कुछ ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं कि एक लेक्चर के उन्होंने 3-3, 4-4 पेजेस लिख लिए होते हैं कुछ ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं जिन्होंने एक पेज बड़ी मुश्किल से लिखा होता है और वो भी हेडिंग्स में, और कुछ ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं उन्होंने 2-4 लाइंस लिखी या कुछ ने कुछ लिखा ही नहीं है। तो ये वो वाले एटीट्यूड्स हैं हमारे जो यहाँ पे शो करते हैं कि सारे स्टूडेंट्स ने वही लेक्चर लिया है, लेकिन सारे स्टूडेंट्स उस लेक्चर के जो पॉइंट्स डिराइव कर रहे हैं, टीचर तो पढ़ाता जा रहा है लेकिन जो उसके पॉइंट्स डिराइव कर रहे हैं वो इक्वली नहीं डिराइव कर रहे, कुछ ज्यादा पॉइंट्स को निकाल रहे हैं, कुछ वैसे ही डिटेल लिखना शुरू कर देते हैं, टीचर छोटी सी भी बात बताता है दे स्टार्ट राइटिंग, कुछ जो होते हैं सिर्फ मेन पॉइंट्स को डिराइव करते हैं और कुछ जो होता है कुछ भी नहीं डिराइव करते, कुछ भी नहीं लिख पाते। तो आपको क्या करना है आइल्स लिसनिंग में, अच्छा हमारे पास 10 मिनट है, चूंकि हमें एट अ टाइम 40 मिनट्स मिलते हैं जूम पे क्लास के लिए। जैसे ये 10 मिनट कंप्लीट होंगे मैं आपको 5 मिनट की ब्रेक दूंगा और उसके 5 मिनट बाद न्यू आपको पासवर्ड इशू कर दूंगा, आप नई क्लास में एंटर हो जाएंगे, ठीक हो गया। अच्छा, तो जो मैं बात कर रहा था कि स्टूडेंट्स की नेचर के, अब आपको अगर आपको आइल्स में अच्छा परफॉर्म करना है लिसनिंग में, तो आप एक ऐसी हैबिट डेवलप करें, जैसे कि अभी लेक्चर चल रहा है, आपके सामने पॉइंट्स भी लिखे हुए हैं ये सारे लिसनिंग से रिलेटेड, लेकिन फिर भी आप लेक्चर सुनते हुए अपने पास एक नोटबुक रखा करें, पेन रखा करें, टीचर जो भी पॉइंट बताता है चाहे उधर भी लिखा हो आप खुद से भी लिखें। इससे क्या होगा, यू विल बी वर्किंग एट अ टाइम फॉर 3 स्किल्स, कि आप यहाँ स्क्रीन से भी कुछ रीड आउट कर रहे हैं, टीचर की बातें भी सुन रहे हैं, एंड यू आर आल्सो राइटिंग दोज पॉइंट्स व्हिच द टीचर इज टेलिंग। और आपको टीचर के हर एक सेंटेंस को नहीं लिखना, सिर्फ और सिर्फ मेन पॉइंट्स लिखें जो टीचर बता रहे हैं, और बाकी जो उस पॉइंट से रिलेटेड एक्सप्लेनेशन हो रही है उसे बस समझे। So if you work like that, you will be a good listener. So IELTS की listening जो होगी, the listening of IELTS is not pure listening. Listening of IELTS is based on reading and writing too. And if you are able to manage these 3 skills together, that you are reading some points, you are also listening something, and you are also active to give response on your notebook, you can perform well. Okay? अब आ जाते हैं number of questions. हमारे पास कितने क्वेश्चंस होंगे, दे विल बी अबाउट 40 क्वेश्चंस, कभी 39 भी होते हैं, दे विल समटाइम्स 41 एंड मोस्टली 40, एंड दीज 40 क्वेश्चंस आर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड ओवर 4 सेक्शंस, तो टोटल 4 सेक्शंस होंगे। तो चूंकि 40 क्वेश्चंस हैं तो अक्सर यही होता है 10 10 10 10 मींस हर सेक्शन में 10 10 क्वेश्चंस हैं, लेकिन अगर किसी में 9 आज आ गए हैं तो अगले में फिर 11 भी हो सकते हैं, या किसी में 12 है तो हो सकता है अगले में 9 हो और फिर 9 आ जाए। So about 10 questions is there in each section, and overall there will be 40 questions, and all sections are compulsory over there. Just like we have 4 sections. Section number 1 of listening is based on conversation on a social or semi-official topic. It is related to day-to-day life language. Section 1 इसकी डिटेल हम पढ़ेंगे। आज का जो लेसन है जस्ट इंट्रोडक्टरी लेक्चर है जिसमें आपको ओवरऑल आइडियाज पता चले। अब सेक्शन 1 की क्या डिटेल है, किस तरह की कन्वर्सेशन होती है, कितने लोग इन्वॉल्व हो सकते हैं, वो डिटेल जब हम लिसनिंग शुरू करेंगे सेपरेटली, और उसकी टिप्स और टेक्निक सारी पढ़ेंगे और उसके साथ रिहर्सल करेंगे, सो यू विल understand it in detail. So here in very quick rundown, we are talking about general structure of IELTS, where we have first section that is based on conversation, second section that is a monologue. अच्छा, जो first section है that will be a dialogue. Dialogue किसे कहते हैं? Di means two and log means talk. A talk of 2 persons. And what is monologue? Mono means one and log means talk. Talk of 1 person. So we have a talk of 1 person over there in which only 1 person is giving information, and you just behave like as a listener only, and this talk will be a kind of public talk. The conversation in section 1, that would be a personal matter conversation. 2 persons are talking about the personal issue of 1 person, and other person is just giving suggestion or just discussing with him. And in section 2 it will be a social topic. Social topic over here, it means it is related to public, and only 1 person is giving a talk, and it means that he is providing any issue which is not related to one person, rather it is across the people, means anybody who is listening can get the benefit from this topic. Okay, so these are social topics in the first two sections. The last two sections, they are based on academic topics. Academic means related to studies. In section 3, if the conversation is there, there can be 2 persons, 3 persons, or 4, as it is mentioned that conversation on between 2 to 4 speakers about an academic topic. It means 2 to 3 persons are speaking, and their speaking is recorded, and after recording they play in front of us for the test purpose. And what they will talk, it is academic, so it means they're talking about their lectures, they're talking about their assignments, they're talking about their presentations in the classes, they're talking about their subject matter which they study in the class. They can talk about thesis they have to present, they can talk about research work, any topic. Maybe one student missed a class and he's discussing with his class fellow, or maybe he's talking with his teacher about the missing lecture, and the teacher is again guiding. So means anything, whatever will be there in section 3, it will be related to their studies, related to their educational subject matter. Right, it will be conversation, and conversation means there can be 2 persons, 3 or 4 speakers, but cannot be 5 at a time. Maximum 4 participants can be there in that conversation. Fourth section which will be played, it is you can say mini lecture. Mini lecture से क्या मुराद है? ये mini lecture तो जाहिर बात है professors ही देंगे, तो it will not be more than 6 to 7 minutes. 6 to 7 minutes की रेंज में ही ये मिनी लेक्चर होगा. 6 to 7 minutes सिर्फ एक ही स्पीकर बोलेगा, और वो एक यूनिवर्सिटी लेक्चर होगा या प्रेजेंटेशन होगी किसी यूनिवर्सिटी लेक्चर, या कोई गेस्ट यूनिवर्सिटी में इनवाइटेड होगा जो स्टूडेंट्स की स्टडीज के हवाले से टॉक करेगा. सो यू कैन सी द फर्स्ट 2 sections they are not about educational material, last 2 sections they are about educational material, and they will be presented to the students. You can see क्योंकि हमें 30 minutes के लिए लिसनिंग करनी है, तो हर सेक्शन 6 से 7 मिनट का होता है, दरमियान में हाफ मिनट भी मिलता है जिसको रिलैक्स करने के लिए, या रीड फर्दर के लिए, या वो चेकिंग द क्वेश्चन आंसर्स ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस के लिए टाइम मिलता है. वो जब हम डिटेल्स स्केड्यूल देखेंगे तो उसमें इंशाल्लाह वो सारी डिस्कशन होगी, उसमें टिप्स भी देखेंगे लिसनिंग की. But overall over here we have got the general structure of listening test. It will be based on 30 minutes, 10 minutes are given extra, whatever you have written the answers on the answer sheet, you can type on the booklet, and afterwards in the 10 minutes you can transfer the answers to the answer sheet. There will be about 40 questions in 4 sections, and first 2 sections are related to general day-to-day life and social issues, personal or public, but the last 2 sections they are academic. In section 3 there can be discussion between students and the teacher, maybe just students are there, maybe one teacher and 2-3 students are there, and the last section is a mini lecture from the lecturer. Okay, in reading we have a procedure, as just like this is the second module of the test. The first one was discussed, that was listening. Attempting questions from the booklet, again like listening, there is also a booklet, but what will be the booklet? In the booklet there will be 3 passages, and these 3 passages are unseen. They could be taken from anywhere. There is no any syllabus book for IELTS reading, like from these certain passages any passage can appear. No, it will not be like that. All the passages which appear in IELTS tests, they are unseen. There is no specific syllabus. These passages are selected from different magazines, from newspapers, from journals. And for academic IELTS, you will see the passages are completely based on 3 features. The passage will be social, it will be research based, and it will be educational. social, research-based, and educational. It means if it is educational, but it will not be so technical that only an expert of that field will read and will get understanding. No, it will be educational but social as well. It means any person, any educated person of the society belonging to any field, if he reads, he will also be equally understanding and enjoying it. For example, if the passage is written on educational field of computer studies, and if a lawyer reads it out, he will also be equally enjoying. There are two types of educational passages. Some are technical, they are research based, but they are technical. Maybe they are related to any computer language, and a person who belongs to the field of economics, he does not know what is computer language. Such type of passage will not be given in IELTS. If a passage is taken related to computer studies, it will be so social that anybody of the society who is educated will equally be interested in it and will enjoy it. The passage, if it is written on computer studies, a person who has studied economics he will also be enjoying. A person who is a doctor, he will also be enjoying. A person who is a technician, or a person who is a pilot, or he belongs to any field of the society but he is educated, he can also equally enjoy the subject matter based on computer studies. Hopefully you understand. So it means it is educational but social too. Not so much technical based on a particular educational field, rather it is social. And it is research based. Every passage is research based too. It means whatever is written, it is authentic according to the research, according to the observation of the writer. There is nothing written which is just based on the perception. There is nothing written which is just a fiction. There is nothing written which is just story. Everything which is there in the passage, it is research based. It means there can be data which is properly researched by earlier scientists, and there will also be the contribution of this writer too. Okay, so this is all about the passage which appear in IELTS. There will be collectively 3 passages. You have to solve objective types of question based on 3 passages. There will be total 60 minutes. It means for one passage there will be 20 minutes. After the reading, after the passage, there will be objective types of questions. You have to fill them up. How to fill them, whether we have to read the whole passage or we have to skim it, we have to scan it, when to skim it, when to scan it, when to read between lines. All these technical things, inshallah, we'll study in detail when we are going to study particular skill. Now, in general, you just keep in mind there are 3 passages which are to be studied in 60 minutes. Okay. You have to answer in the booklet, but there will not be any marking of this booklet. Along with this booklet, you will be provided an answer sheet in which just there are boxes, blank boxes. In front of each question, there is a blank box. Whatever the question you solve in the reading passage, maybe question number 1 is there. In the answer sheet, in front of 1, the box is empty. Suppose it is a summary filling question from question number 1 to 7, and the first summary filling question answer is great. So in the answer sheet, you have to write on in front of 1 great. Suppose answer of question number 2 is metaphysical. So in the answer sheet in front of 2, you have to write on metaphysical. In listening, you were provided, as I told you, you were provided extra time to transfer the answers from the booklet to the answer sheet. But keep in mind, there is no extra time in reading. The booklet which is given to you, the place for answers is also there. But this booklet is not going to be marked. What is going to be marked? The answer sheet is going to be marked. So within time, within 60 minutes, there is no extra 10 minutes. You should also be able to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. But mostly I suggest my students, as you get the answer of question number 1, question number 2, and so on, you should not write the answers on the booklet. Directly you should keep the answer sheet in front of you and you have to write the answers on the answer sheet. Suppose in booklet question number 1 answer is certain, just like I told you, its answer is great. Just cross over there and write the answer in the answer sheet. Cross over there question number 1 because it is done, but don't write over there the answer. Write the answer on the answer sheet so that you can save your time. In my observation, it takes almost 5, 7 or maybe 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. So why should we waste our time in transferring the answers? We should give that time to read more about the passage and to answer certain more questions. Right. As in listening we talked about that only lead pencil is allowed. So similarly in reading portion, again only pencil is allowed. There is no acceptance of ballpoint or fountain pen pointer. There is just need of only lead pencil. Number of questions again will be equal to just like in listening. There were also 40 questions, here again 40 questions. Those questions were distributed in 4 sections, but here 3 passages are there, so it means they are distributed in 3 sections. So almost 13 or 14 questions from each section will be given, and all questions are objective type, just like question just mentioned. True, false, not given means a statement is given in the question and you have to find out this statement is true. True means it agrees with the information present in the passage, or disagrees. If disagrees, then false. And if you think this statement is not present in the passage, then it is not true. There is a question regarding heading. Sometimes there is no title of the passage and you are asked what could be the best title of this passage. Sometimes the paragraphs headings are also demanded. Suppose in one passage there are 5 paragraphs and you are given a list of certain headings and you are just asked that which heading can be suitable for paragraph number A or paragraph number B or C and onwards. And headings will be mentioned in 1, 2, 3. Maybe heading number 1 is going to be adjusted with paragraph number C, and heading number 2 may be adjusted with paragraph number F or A. It depends on the theme or message. There can be MCQs types of question. Question is mentioned and there are 4 options: sentence completion or summary completion or diagram completion. It means filling of the blanks types of question will also be there. And they can be matching of list. 2 lists are provided and we have to match options from one list with another, with the data of another list. Okay, so this is all about the structure of reading and what are the tips and techniques, at what level we have to do what things. Inshallah, we'll talk about in detail when we start reading separately, reading skills separately. Now, coming towards next data, that is basically comparison in the reading portion between academic reading and general training reading. All of you are going abroad for the purpose of student visa studies. Your higher studies the main requirement, and you all have to appear in academic IELTS. So earlier whatever I told you, that was related to academic. So what is the difference in general training? You will see in general training there are simpler texts. 3 of the sections, they are not based on research based educational passages, rather they are based on certain notes or ads or magazines or books, pamphlets. It means simpler data is given as compared to the academic data. So it is just the matter of simplicity or difficulty. Academic reading is difficult, but criterion for band is also different. Suppose if there are 40 questions in academic and your 29 questions are correct, you get the 7 band. On the other hand, in general training, if there are 32 questions correct, then you get the 7 band. It means the criterion for giving bands in general training is harder. If 32, 33 questions out of 40 are correct in general training, then 7 bands are given, otherwise not. If 32 or sorry 31 or 30 or 29, they don't give you 7, they give 6.5. But in IELTS academic, out of 40, your 29 questions should be correct. Okay, and those who want to get more band, this is just an example I'm giving you. Though academic reading is tough, but the criterion for giving scores or final bands, that is also different. Okay, now we are moving towards writing portion. There will also be the same timing as far as reading was concerned. 60 minutes are there. Okay, it is the third module of the test, the writing task of specified word limit to be completed, option of using a pen or pencil. So it means that in listening and reading, only pencil was allowed. But here there is an option. If you use pen, it's your choice. If you use pencil, that is your choice. I suggest my students to use pencil because sometimes you're writing a statement and you want to change the statement or you want to change a vocabulary item or a phrase, you can easily erase and you can change it. But sometimes if you have written it with the pen and you want to change it, then it will be crossed or it will create a problem for handwriting. So and even sometimes it happens, an idea appears later, is the idea which you jot down earlier, and the idea which appears in your mind later that is stronger and you want to erase one sentence. So it is also easily erasable when you use a pencil. So you are given option. It's up to you. You use pencil or pen, but my advice there to use pencil if you want to erase. This writing test is of 60 minutes, but there will be 2 tasks in writing. Because all of you are appearing for academic IELTS. So in academic, the first task is to be written, that is called a report writing. And you have to write a report where at least 150 words should be written. You can go up to 150, 170, 180, but maximum 200 words. This task has less value as compared to the second task. Second task of writing is argumentative essay. You have to write an essay, but this will not be a kind of educational essay which we mostly write in our matriculation or intermediate or graduation courses. Rather, this essay is argumentative. Those essays are based on topics. They are descriptive essays. In IELTS, we have to write an argumentative essays. We will inshallah study what kind of essays and argumentative and what things are necessary to make an essay argumentative. We'll talk in detail when separately writing skills will be started. For IELTS writing task 2, you are supposed to write down 250 words at least. For task 1, 150 words at least. So you can go up to 200. And for task 2, at least 250 words, and similar, you can go up to 300 words. But my suggestion is don't write more. Quality of data is more important than quantity of data. So just fulfill their basic number of words, like 270 words are enough, 280, 290. Don't write more. You should work more on the quality of data. Means your vocabulary should be stronger, your content should be stronger, your ideas should be stronger, and try to work on that one. Okay, so these are the 2 tasks which you have to perform. We are given 60 minutes. It's up to us whether we start task 1 earlier or we start task 2 earlier. It's up to us. Task 1 is report, 150 words. You can write it later. You can write first task 2. You can write task 1 later, or you can write task 1 earlier, task 2 later. It's your own choice. Number of minutes is also your choice, but as far as the worth of task 1 is concerned, it is less. 150 words is equal to 3 band, and 250 words is equal to 6 band. Collectively 9 bands are there in writing. So if you spend 35 to 40 minutes in task 2, then it is better because it has more value. 6 bands are attached to it, so that you can give it specific time, proper time, so that you can gain maximum out of this task. As task 1 is almost to 3 band, so you should give it 20 or maximum 25 minutes, not more than that. After 60 minutes, your writing task will be over. Now there is just a comparison between academic writing and general training writing. There is only one difference. As far as task 1 is concerned, I told you in academic writing you have to write a report based on certain graphs and charts. But general training writers, general training IELTS writers, they have to write a letter. So letter is different. Your requirement is not letter, you will not touch it. We'll just know how to write a report. As far as second task is concerned, that is to some extent almost equal. But there is a big difference that the second task of academic will be based on certain problems where you are asked a suggestion or opinion or solution. You have to make it argumentative. And in general training, again, there is a task where you have to give opinion, suggestion. When you give opinion and suggestion and solution of a problem, it becomes argumentative. So it means task 2 of both academic and general training is the same, but task 1 is different. Instead of writing a report, you are supposed to write on a letter. But it is just for general training IELTS students, not for you. You have to just learn how to write a report and how to write an argumentative essay. Of course, letter writing is easier because it is just your own personal story, how you create a story in letter. But report writing is technical. Inshallah, we will come up with it. Number of words as they are written, I have told you earlier. Now come towards the pattern of speaking tests. In the speaking test, there will be mainly 3 parts, right? The time for speaking tests will be between 10 to 15 minutes, and it all depends how interactive you are, how explanatory you are. If you explain things more and more in speaking tests, it means it will take more time, but maximum 15 minutes will be taken in this test. Speaking test is a kind of interview. It's a face-to-face test. Examiner and the candidate, only 2 persons are there in the room. Examiner conducts the test, and yeah, you can see one-to-one interview. That is a procedure. Entire conversation is recorded. Actually, the examiner who is conducting the tests, he is not in complete authority to assign the band. Later on, your test is also listened, and it is decided by the other examiner as well that how many marks should be given to you in speaking. So there is, you can say, cross-marking. If once the test is marked, your recording is also listened again, it is also marked. For example, in speaking, if someone assigns you and gives you 6 band and another examiner gives you 7 band, so their average will be taken, so collectively 6.5 band finally will be given to you. So therefore test will be recorded, and it is also recorded to keep the things systematic and to keep the things fair. Suppose you are not satisfied with the result, maybe you think you performed very well in IELTS speaking test and you are not given badge according to your performance. So you can apply for rechecking, and in rechecking the recorded material is also there. So once again the examiner check your recorded speaking, and they will rethink and can decide whether the bands are given up to the mark or they could be increased or even decreased as well. So you must be sure that your performance in speaking was better than your score. Then you should apply for rechecking. And of course rechecking is higher. Rechecking costs you, for example, I think around about 8,000 charges are there for rechecking. So unless or until you're sure that your performance was far better than the given band, so then you should apply for checking. Now let's talk about the structure. IELTS speaking test is conducted in 3 parts. 4 to 5 minutes your introduction and interview is conducted. Examiner asks all the questions related to your life, like your activities, your free time passing, your educational career, your exercise, your interests, your likes, your dislikes. And questions may be related to your friends, your family members, your teachers, the places which you have visited in your life, the questions about the things which you keep with you, the interesting things, and stuff like that. Second task is a topic card. This task is, you can say, kind of small speech, or you can say a bit long talk as compared to question by question answer session. There is a card in which a topic is mentioned. Some points are also mentioned. You have 1 minute to think about the topic and the points, and afterwards you give a comprehensive detail of the topic where you fulfill the requirements of the points which are mentioned in the card collectively by yourself. The examiner will not ask questions one by one, rather collectively you have to respond. And when this test cue card or topic card is over, afterwards you are indulged in a discussion, and the topic for discussion will be the topic of card, but here the discussion will be broad, extended questions, broad questions, questions which will be away from the personal experience, but related to the same topic which appeared in part 2 will be asked. And inshallah, the detail of all the 3 portions we will discuss when the formal separate class for speaking will be conducted. Now, in list speaking, what you are assessed means what things are marked, on what basis you are given scores. First of all, your grammar is checked. For example, if the question is asked in past tense and you give answers in present, or the question is asked about future references and you are giving answers in present or past, so of course your marks will be factored. Your fluency is very, very much needed. There should not be unnatural gaps, just like you say one sentence and you start thinking, and while thinking there is a gap in your talk, and of course this gap is because your ideas are not coming in your mind very quickly, so the marks will be deducted. You should have natural flow. Fluency does not mean very much higher speed. I always refer to the students in which speed you speak your mother tongue, your Urdu language, in the same speed you should speak in English. The English does not mean you have to speak with higher speed. You have to maintain a pace in your speak, and pace means there must be rhythm in your talk. It should look like natural. There should not be uncertain gaps. Of course, your pronunciation should be better. The marks of pronunciations are there. There will be vocabulary if you are speaking and you are using very commonplace vocabulary, so we understand that you just belong to general language. There must be certain higher vocabulary words which are standard ones, so that your range of vocabulary should also give you more score. Your body language, your facial expression, hand gestures, your eye contact, that should be very much important. You should look into the eyes of the examiners. You should have smiling face. It should appear that you are not in tension, you are not so much depressed, you are not so much worried or confused. Rather, you are taking everything by the examiner in an easy tone, just like you are talking with your friend. Similar tone you should have.